Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. Today we're in Chicago and we are doing another TCR track car review. And we got here with us Peter and his, what year is this?
88.
88 CRX
SI.
Something that I've always wanted. You also go by Ducky, right?
Yeah.
Or is that something you just like?
No, everyone calls me
okay.
Ducky.
Everyone calls you Ducky, okay. Yeah. Ducky and I, we actually first met at Miata Meet. And that was just a couple months ago. It wasn't even that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I went to go say hi to Mikey, and Mikey was hanging out with these guys, and Mikey introduced us. That's when I first saw this thing, and all I can remember about this car is just being out on Gingerman and watching this car pass me lap after lap. Just had like the jaw ruled, no Monica moments every single time, you know? Let's just get into it. How long have you had the car?
I bought the car in 2016. Came out of Atlanta. Another buddy owned it. I bought just the bare shell. Just built it over the years and made improvements for drivability, obviously, and to go faster.
How long, from when you first got it, how long was the build until the point where you were able to like start driving it on track? How long was that process?
Yeah, 2017, then 2017, I took it out for the first time. It was one of the October Grid Life events. Threw a seal cam in it, threw old suspension that I had on it, and old tires that I got from buddies, and just parted it together from other cars.
Yeah.
And took it out, ended up blowing the motor in it. So the first motor that we had,
single cam, you said?
Yeah, it was a single cam. Okay. I got it from Adam Jabay, and it was just an unknown motor that he had.
Okay.
So we were like, throw it in the car just to drive it and see how it feels and stuff. So yeah, that first motor blew. Then I ended up getting a mildly built single cam from Adam again.
Just the plug, man.
Yeah. He was a single cam goddess. Threw that in there. Did a couple upgraded parts here and there. Took it back out. It was way better. But I just didn't have any power to hang out with anyone anymore. Like, everyone's got big B series or everyone's K series. So they were just gone. Like, it wasn't even a joke. So I was like, all right, following year, I'm going B series. Ended up selling my single cam that was in that car to a buddy. He's got it in his daily now. And I bought a B16 off of my friend Adele. Threw it in there, and it's just been a riot ever since.
So when you first started building it, what was the initial goal for it? Like, was it like you're gonna autocross with it? You're gonna, like, it's a weekend car?
Just to take out and race with friends.
Yeah.
Just to have fun. But I couldn't hang with them. So I went B series, and then that was fun, but the car was still like very twitchy. You know, I didn't have the best suspension on it. It was like old control arms and stuff that I just randomly threw on there. And then I finally ended up doing suspension. I went through the whole car, did everything. Suspension, brakes, and it was just a world of a difference.
I guess we can just go ahead and go over like the exterior of the car, since it's probably the best spot to start. I mean, we're just looking at it. One thing I mentioned to you when I got in here was that rear fender was flared out.
It's got a wide body on it.
Yeah.
In the rear. Front fenders are EF, just regular EF wide fenders. Not sure what brand they are. Everyone always asks me, but they came with the car.
These things are, you can fit a lot more tire in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got a 15x8 with a 205 in the rear. And then up front I got a 15x9 with a 245. With
the 245.
Yeah.
And typically with that type of stagger, front wheel drive guys will do that so that we can get some more rotation in the rear, right? Because naturally with the front wheel drive car, you get a lot of understeer that front end pushes. That's something I'm going through right now and trying to figure out. So still fine tuning, but that's why you'll see that type of stagger on a front wheel drive car, especially these Hondas. So looks like you got Lexan on the whole car.
Lexan, rear windows. Sunroof is gone. Really, the windshield is the only glass that I still have.
Okay.
Doors are fully gutted.
Gutted out. Yeah.
As you can see, there's nothing in there. It makes it a pain in the ass to close sometimes. Over flares in the rear, fiberglass fenders in the front, and hood.
All in all, it's pretty, you know, you don't have any aero. It's like an all mechanical grip type of car.
I am though. That was one thing that I learned at Honda Meet was I need a rear wing.
A rear wing?
Yeah. I can't, the rear end just needs to stay planted. It's so light that it gets jumpy and tries to fishtail out on me. But yeah, the air dam is really the only thing that I have. That was Adam Jabay's old bumper off his red car.
Off his red car. What, so you said you have 15 by 8s in the rear, right?
Yeah, 15 by 8s in the rear. The decograms, they're C3Ms up front, 15 by 9s.
Okay. And are those AR1s? Okay.
Yeah, 245s in the front and 205s in the rear.
And the brakes, what do you have for your brake setup?
Brakes are just DA brakes. I got DA Integra front knuckles and I believe CRX rears, but they should be the same as DAs.
What pads?
DTC 60s?
Hawks?
Yes.
I
got a Willwood kit back there somewhere, but I just haven't thrown it on yet.
Yeah. How does it stop though? I mean, do you need the Willwood kit?
I need an aggressor pad or bigger brakes. I want to go with the Porsche setup, but it's just so expensive now.
Yeah. And
it got ridiculous.
Yeah, and the stuff from Honda, it just takes forever to get to.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're going to order something, make sure you get everything that you need from them.
Yeah. And now if you find them, it's like $900,000. And it's like, dude, those calipers are like $400 a couple years ago.
Yeah, when they're in demand, right?
But yeah, I mean, the DAs get me through. It's got like this weird bypass right here for the proportioning valve.
Oh, okay.
To do like more brake in front or
Change
rear.
Your bias from front to rear. Nice. Let's talk about the suspension. You were saying that you went over and redid everything as far as suspension. What do you have for coilovers?
Coilovers are ground control conies.
Okay.
They're just
the OG
proven,
setup.
you know?
The OG setup, yeah.
They work, and they're not crazy expensive. So I ended up going with that. I got that off of our buddy Split Time. He's got a CRX 2, and he upgraded his suspension. So I ended up getting this off of him. And then I did PCI, basically everything.
Spherical everything.
Yeah. The only thing I don't have is the front PCI stuff.
Got it.
Everything in the rear, trailing arms, lower control arms, uppers, all that. And it really made a huge improvement in the car. Like
sway bars up front and rear?
Stock sway bar up front.
Okay, what do you have in the rear?
Type R.
Type R? Okay, that's like 24 or something like that,
something
right?
Like that,
I think it's 24 mil. Forget. As far as the setup, I mean, you've been driving for some time now, and you've been driving this car for some time now. And do you feel like you've got the car set up suspension-wise? I mean, you were saying you needed a rear wing.
That's the only thing I think I need is a rear wing. I mean, it's pretty much dialed in.
Yeah, you're not battling with like understeer or oversteer or anything
Nothing.
Like that.
It goes wherever it wants you to go. Just sometimes it gets a little iffy in the rear.
Yeah.
So that's how I want to throw a wing on it, just to see if it's going to help me. Which it should.
We quickly mentioned earlier, how much does this car weigh?
1,600 pounds. Yeah.
So 16 freaking 100 pounds.
Yeah.
It is so light, and it made me wonder, a car like this that's just like purely mechanical grip, no aero, and weighs super light like this, like what type of spring rates are you running on the coilovers?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Is it just like whatever came with the defaults?
Whatever our buddy had on his car.
Got it.
I just threw them on there, and they were already adjusted, so I just left them, and it worked.
It's not like too bouncy of a ride or anything like that?
No, not really, but I think I do need to go stiffer in the front. For the last event for Honda Meet, I did a bunch of upgrades. Okay. And I have a bigger header now. Well, now when I'm braking, I'm having an issue, or
you're diving and you're okay.
So I might go stiffer spring up front to see if that helps with that, because I don't want to replace that header again.
Let's pop the hood and find out. Let's take a looky inside here. Just like throw the hood off of it.
Yeah.
Everything's so light. Just a good old B series, like you just don't see these that much at the track anymore because everyone's K-swapped.
Yes, and this B16 specifically.
And B16.
Now Mikey, Pro Function Mikey, built this probably 13 years ago.
Still kicking up.
It's still kicking. Revs to 92. It's insane.
As far as internals, what's all done to it?
It's got pistons. I got a
piston rod combo.
Yeah, piston rod combo. Got it. Basic head package, valves, retainers, all that.
And Mikey dynoed it at how much?
I just threw cams in it, a header, and a 3-inch exhaust. and we made 181.
Oh, nice.
But my sad part is the B16, so it's got no torque.
Yeah. I have a GSR and I struggle with I'm like, get out of the corner, get out of the corner. And just like, you just gotta wait.
It's got power and it's got the lightweight, but I'm struggling on torque right now.
Yeah, that's why everybody goes K, man.
Torque,
that's why everybody goes K, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to go K.
I don't either. It's so expensive too, right? Yeah.
I'm having a blast out there with this thing. You see, it's a B16.
Yeah. So
it rips.
So Ducky's like 180 horsepower.
Yeah.
And my car is about, I think Mikey dynoed at 174. GSR still doesn't have a lot of torque. B16 even less torque in stock form. Form. And when I first saw this car go by me on track, I'm like, that thing is gotta have a K or something in it. And then when I came over and talked to Mikey and Ducky about the car, like, it's B16. I'm like, how much power is it making? Because you just like walked me on track.
At that time, I was one.
Even less power.
Oh yeah, I was 170 something. But with everything I did, the main thing that we got out of the car was I gained 10 horsepower mid-range. So that was like
that's a lot.
Big help.
Yeah.
You know, I think overall I gained like 2 or 3 horsepower total, but we gained 10 mid-range, and that was like
that's where it lives, basically. Yeah, that's where it lives. So, and yeah, so Ducky was passing me like crazy. I'm like, we got the same, like about the same power, both B series. Like, why is he just walking away from me? And then they're like, yeah, it's 1,600 pounds. Like, oh, okay.
Ridiculous.
I understand now.
It was a tin can.
So what do you have for trans then?
So B16 trans with the 4.4.
4.4, okay.
Yeah, and LSD.
Nice.
That I pieced together. Mark from 1.6 had a brand new B16 gear set. We were putting the car together last minute, and I was like, man, I can't get my trans to close. You know, I threw the diff in there, and I was like, I can't get it to close. So went by him at like midnight. He's like, come to the shop, I'll meet you there, and we'll figure it out. 2 days before Honda meet. And he's like, yeah, these gear sets are fucked. He's like, you need new ones. He's like, I have this B16 brand new gear set. So I ended up buying that off him, threw it in there, and it's money. But yeah, I just did the cable to hydro conversion on it, and it's amazing.
That's right. Like I totally even forgot. Like, so I've never owned a 4th gen like Civic.
Yep.
And if you guys don't know, these things are cable clutch. So instead of a hydraulic line coming from the clutch master cylinder to a slave cylinder down here, you have an actual physical cable that actuates the clutch. But Ducky did the cable to hydro conversion on here, so he's able to run a hydraulic trans. And
and I did E85 too. That was another,
okay. So it's also tuned on you. That was the change from the last time. Okay.
It was E85 cams, header, and exhaust.
How big of injectors did you end up going with then?
RDX injectors.
Okay. So it's like 440 or something like that, right?
Something 440. Like they're just the cheapest, best
reliable
option. Yeah, you know, it's still OEM. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. Car doesn't really care for ED5.
No?
No, it takes a little bit to start up and warm up.
Do you like it better on ED5 than it was on like normal pump gas? Not just like a hassle.
Yeah, it just takes forever to warm up now.
What do we have going on in the interior here? Well, doors are gutted, like you said earlier.
Door bars?
Yep.
Gutted doors, just 2 seats, harnesses just so I can get right along. Little ghetto zip tied mirror up here.
Race car, because race car, right?
Stationary steering wheel, no quick release or anything like that. I did just get the hybrid shifter.
It's great, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love that thing.
I love it.
Do you have the detent springs, like heavy duty detent springs in the trans too?
No.
If you do that, it's just like clink, clink, clink. Yeah, it feels great.
Really?
Yeah.
I have just new OEM ones in there.
Yeah, but the shifter is really good.
I'm gonna have to look into those too. I just did that in the solid bushings. There's a dash bar right here, and then another dash bar that goes across. And then he just welded the plates onto it.
Got it. It looks good.
Put some holes in there and threw the gauges up there.
I'll probably eventually do something similar to mine because I don't have a dash either. It's just like firewall. Yeah. And then firewall, some wiring, and then that's it.
Man, honestly, when we got this car running, my cousin Santos wired up the whole car. I had a spare chassis, an SI. He took the whole harness out of there, laid it in here, and like we got the car running. We were like going to race that week. And everything works, so I do not touch anything underneath the dash. Like, it might look super crusty and there's wires hanging everywhere.
But it works though.
But it works. And I am a big person on, if it works, do not touch it.
Don't touch it. That's the thing too about...
Just leave it.
That's the thing too about like what people usually see on a street car compared to a track car is that like track cars aren't the prettiest because they get used and abused.
This thing gets abused badly.
And it's okay because
I washed it today, and me and my buddy Anthony over there were talking, and I was like, this is the first time I ever washed this car.
I don't think I've ever washed my car either. I was like maybe wiped it down a few times.
I was like, this is the first time I ever washed a car. I repainted it last year when I redid all the stickers and stuff. I was like, yeah, I haven't washed it ever since. Just got tire marks everywhere and it's all dirty.
I like the cage on this thing too.
Oh, the cage is beautiful.
Man.
For what I paid for this car, just the chassis was well worth it. The fuel pump and fuel filter alone, like, was worth it. So it came with the fuel cell, fuel pump, fuel filter, cage, and that's about it.
I didn't even notice you had the fuel cell back here.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that, like, if I were to walk up to it and not see, like, that you're proud of or that you think is, like, super sick that you need people to know? And
I mean, everything. It's all special one way or another, you know? It's all got its stories. The motor alone, it's an old piece that Mikey built a long time ago for another one of our buddies. Was in 2 of his cars and still kicking now in my car.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah, I think in this car it's the engine.
Oh yeah,
just because of the history of it and how long it's been going.
The exterior just represents all my friends. Ramblers is our racing team.
Yeah, which is the sickest racing team name ever, by the way.
Yeah,
Ramblers Racing.
Thank you. Racing, another group of friends. Grid Life, the Coca-Cola sticker, and the Ramblers in the Coca-Cola lettering because my mom's a huge fan of Coca-Cola. Okay. So I did that for her.
She's got like a bunch of like antiques. And like, she's a collector.
Oh yeah, she's crazy about it. The hood, big Ramblers symbol, and then the International Harvester on the front where the Honda symbol was supposed to be for my friend Mikey's dad. He's big into International Harvester, so that was for him.
Okay.
CRX photo in the back is Chris Sullivan, photographer.
Yeah.
K for J-Bay, Adam J-Bay.
Yeah.
Same with slip angle.
Who's for the people who don't know, who's Adam J-Bay?
Adam J-Bay is one of the coolest people alive. He director of Grid Life. Honda meet. He's the reason why we do this.
He's got an EF with Lambo doors, right?
Yeah. His EF has been around forever. Just gets cooler and cooler every year.
All right, Ducky, so I know you've probably been doing this for a while, but why don't you just kind of walk us through your experiences as a driver and a track day goer. How long have you been driving for?
Our first event was 2010. I think I started driving in 2011.
So about 10 years.
It took a while. It took a while to get used to it, especially because back then I was in different cars all the time. Maybe 2016, 17, 18, around then, that's when I actually felt like I was starting to get better. You know, more used to everything, more comfortable. We all had fits at the time, and we were all instructing everyone on the team. So we'd go out and instruct the group and just all go crazy in the fits. And I honestly feel like I started driving my best then. They were super slow cars, but they handled very well. Once you got trust in that, I got into this car and I was like, oh God, I'm scared. But now that I'm driving this like I drove the Fit, it's so much more comfortable.
It's stages, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, when you start with the Fit, especially super low power, total momentum.
You have no power, you're out there driving.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a video game.
Yeah.
It's like you got to start from the base and work your way up one step at a time.
Exactly. You go out there with something fast, you just
You're lost.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
Where was your first track day held at? What track?
Gingerman.
Gingerman.
Gingerman was my first track day at Honda Meet.
At Honda Meet? Walk us through your first, like, leading up to your first track day.
It was super nerve-wracking. I'd finished the car the year before, but like 2 days before. I was supposed to drive, but I was just way too nervous of how the car was going to be. So I didn't end up taking it. So obviously the year after, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to go out there and drive. Got there and I was super nervous. Super intimidated. Like, you know, there's a lot of fast cars out there, but I had Luke Wilcox as my instructor. He's another one that helped run Honda Meet, and he told me what to do. I followed all his instructions, and every session just felt more and more comfortable. And yeah, I was hooked ever since. No turning back.
Yeah, there's not many people who will like do this and be like, nah, I don't want to do it. It's just like, yeah, when's the next time?
Seriously.
So you've been driving for about 10 years now, if not, you know, a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
Ever since your first track day, what kind of events have you done? Have you done any competition of any kind, or has it just been track days?
No, just track days. Just I do it for the fun of driving with my friends.
Yeah, it is so much fun. And like, for the people who don't understand that aspect of the fun of like going out there with your friends, it's like if you snowboard, do you snowboard at all? Like, it's that same sensation of cruising down a mountain with your friends. Like, it's the same thing except you're in a car.
Snowboarding is really hard. I did it for the first time this year. It was really hard. You get the hang of it after a while, though.
Yeah. What's your advice for someone who is going to be doing this for the first time? Like, what's one piece of advice you wish you would have known?
You don't need a fast car to do it. Just simple stuff. Brakes, suspension, tires. You will have the time of your life out there. Yeah. You don't need anything crazy. Start off with something as simple as possible. Work your way up from there.
A huge misconception about going to a track day is that people think they need to
get overly excited.
Fully build a car and like, I need to turbo this thing.
When I was instructing, like we'd have kids that show up in Civic with 450 horsepower, and you're like, holy cow. Like, I don't even think I can handle this thing. Like, this is gonna be nuts. Thank God the kid ended up being an awesome driver.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just like, you don't need that much, not starting off. Start off with something basic. Take your daily out there, you know, have fun in that, and then work your way up from there. Or just get a basic Civic with a single cam and suspensions, tires, and brakes. You'll be good to go. Yeah, invest in yourself. The seat time, right? 100%. Aside from cars and doing all of this stuff, the driving and building cars, what's something else about you that you're interested in? Like, what's another hobby? Like, you come home from work and it's not cars that you're doing. Is it like video games? Is it like? Yeah, we play video games, especially in the off season. But Warzone, play with all of our buddies whenever we're not at the track. Otherwise, it's cars, man. Cars, they're everything. Yeah. Whether it's driving this or taking this out or going off-roading in the truck, it's always something with cars. Yeah, we play video games, but other than that, it's cars. As far as like the amount of passion you have for it, it's not like what you have for cars. Because if I'm not working on my cars, you know, we're putting someone else's car together, or I'm working in the garage on something else. Yeah. I'm just always out here. And if I'm not doing that, we're inside playing video games with each other. Our community is just, it's so close. Yeah. You know? And I learned that real quick too. Oh, because Miata Meet was like literally my second event out only. Just like hanging out with my friends there. And then Miata Meet was like, dude, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I belong here. Like, everyone's so nice. The community is just freaking great, you know? You just, we have a friend that we met last year. We met him at Honda Meet. First time we met him, I think we've done like 7 events together already. That's crazy. Like, I feel like we've known the kid. His name's Chris Derby. Oh, I met him at Miata Meet. Yeah, he's got the DC5. Yeah. We met him last year, and I swear it feels like we've known him forever. Like, he'll come out to any event that we're doing, like, yo, he'll drive up from Kentucky. What events are you guys doing? You know, we talked all winter, kept in touch, and he's such a fun kid to drive with. And yeah, he's just awesome. To add to that, like, I watched your guys' interaction too, like Chris and you guys, and I'm new to this. I'm new to this scene,
this community. So I'm like, I'm there thinking like these guys have been friends forever.
Yeah, we barely met each other.
You guys are just like, yeah,
we barely met each other. We drove at Honda. Me and him had a battle in his DC. Me and him had a battle. We got off track, and he's like, "Yo, was that you in the CRX?" And I was like, "Yeah." Was that you in the RX? He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That was fucking awesome." He's like, "Next time you go out, let me know." I was like, "All right, cool." Ever since then, just line up together. Every time we go out, we all grow out as a group. They were giving us shit at came out. They're like, "Oh, look at all the Hondas out there. You know, they think they're running GLTCs." It's like, you know, we're all close. So every time we go out, we want to go out together. We want to drive together.
Yeah.
We know each other's driving styles. Like, we know what we can do with each other to have fun.
Saw all the photos of Honda Meet afterwards, and I saw like you guys' huge group.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm missing out.
Oh
so,
yeah.
like,
when we go out all together, and that's the best part about it. You know, you're out there with friends. It's like you're in big go-karts, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
When you go go-karting, the best thing about it is you guys are all together. And these are just our bigger go-karts.
Yeah, absolutely. This about wraps it up for this episode of TCR. Thank you, Ducky, for showing us your car and just giving us a little sneak peek into your experiences with driving. I'm sure a lot of people will find some value in the tips and in the information you give out. So if you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stay up to date with my build, see builds like this, and my progress as a driver, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions for Ducky himself or for me, go ahead and put them in the comment section down below. Go ahead and follow him, follow Ramblers. It's like I said, the sickest team racing name ever. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining us.